Just checking on my 1960 recording above and adding to it. I don't know if it's related, but it occurs to me something happened yesterday, and my daughter was having a go at her young friend for keeping her waiting so long after school playing when she's got to get home to mum. And I didn't say anything to cut across. I mean, he was defending himself, and they were both being unreasonable, if you know what I mean. And then it just went silent. They gave up with it. They were stuck next to each other. It's quite a long journey home, you know. It takes about 20 minutes or so to get home. And after a quiet period, I said, just to the two of them, they could listen, but they weren't answering anybody, and certainly didn't want any advice from Dad. But I just said, you can find difficulty, but you have to be careful that, because something seems to be costing you, that your solution doesn't make the situation worse. And you hurt someone that you care about. Well, needless to say, my daughter took this very personally and said, I don't care about him. Or something to that effect. I had the presence of mind not to respond to this. I just gave it the silence it was due. But before I actually dropped her off, after I dropped the young lad off, well, I talked to both of them something completely different, just, comments in passing, and, have you got so-and-so, or something, whatever. Don't know why that window's no longer opening on your side, to the little boy, I say little, he's 11 and she's 12. They both know this puzzling adult man that gives them a lift. Marshall, he's different, he's just strange. But he's very well-meaning. I mean, he's an old fogey from their point of view, but they know he means to help. They both hear him. I just know they both hear me. And they're both relating to me. They're not relating to each other yet. And you could say, well, they both want an ally in the situation. Well, it might have been that as well. I agree. Well, that's a good reason as well. And you can do a lot, as kind third party. You can do a lot to rescue people into more fullness of life. I know they both hear me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Look, you may think ostensibly, he's something to do with wisdom, Marshall. He means well, I guess. Seems to have some screwy ideas. Do you know that's the wisdom, the ideas, is not actually what's cutting it. What blesses is the example of not so much effective help, but coming to know what love is. A benevolence. You need to be able to recognize it and choose it, both in the company you seek out and allow yourself to be with, and in the person that you become. If you are to enter into life eternal, quite simply, be kind. It's nothing to do with wisdom, or at least it's a greater wisdom than logical, analytical thought and analysis. It's a being of wanting, of valuing being kind, above principle, above reason, above logic, above cost. It is to say, actually, in practice of living, that love, creativity, and sustaining others, protection, help, blessing, being kind, is everything to life eternal, not just theirs, yours, in valuing such as well. He does a greater thing in you than through you. Every kindness you do fills your being with eternal wealth, a wealth that is detectable in this world, permanent and eternal. You shall not lose your reward. Our God is an awesome, loving, kind Dad. That is the real truth of the Jesus story, and the rest is noise. It is this, that God is not just power and creativity, but loving kindness. Quite simply, our Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad. Well, I'm going to sleep now. It's 1:38 and I must have been reviewing my reviews. Recordings for nearly an hour, something like that. I'm going to turn over and go to sleep by the grace of God. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. But he didn't. And the two recordings followed. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.